Hello, Henry from Belgium here. Today a video about LEGO set 6396, International Jetport from 1990. I have the complete set with the box, the manual, and all parts. It's the second airport set that I have in my collection now. In an earlier video, you could already see a review of my first set, 6392, airport from 1985, and that was also a set that I had when I was a child. I used to play with it for hours. The 6396 seems to be an update, and I can compare it with this set later in the video. There were 5 years between the two sets, and I suspect that if you already had the first set, you didn't have this one, unless you had rich parents and you just got everything you wanted. So it's nice that I can now discover this set for the first time today. Of course, I've already done the necessary research on Bricklink and looked at the parts. It contains 541 pieces, including 8 minifigs. In the meantime, I have sorted some nice parts here, but let's first take a look at the box. It is still in good condition considering its age. It still has all the cardboard, the plastic foil is still firmly in place, and the blue inlay is also included. Only a tear here and some wear. The images at the back are a nice added value and give good suggestions of how to build the set in a different way. I find this image special and fun, and I would like to build it that way someday. It's always a pity that no detailed instructions are included for this. The manual consists of 16 pages, and you can clearly see what can be built in separate chapters. First the minifigs, some accessories, and then the vehicles. The airplane seems to me to be a nice build. I am looking forward to that, because that is a bit of a puzzle with different bricks. And finally, there is also the airport building. I am looking forward to that too, because it has not only basic bricks, but also slightly larger pieces in one whole. It also has a more southern look, and also gives me a holiday feeling. And that is not a coincidence, because the alternative name of this set is Holiday Airport. Before I start building, I will show you the minifigs. There are 8 in total. I have to say that there is not that much difference from the 1985 set. The print on the torsos of the airport staff has remained the same. The pilot and the policeman are also the same. However, the colors of the headgear or trousers are a different combination. I notice here that blue is the main color. It all radiates a bit more uniformity to me, which is positive. A nice detail is that the helicopter pilot has a visor. That part was not yet produced when the previous set came out. The female figure, at least her torso, seems to me to be the most valuable. She also appears in the Holiday Villa set, of which I recently have posted a video on my channel. Everything has been checked for playwear and cracks, and as you can judge for yourself, these are 8 classic town minifigs in a very nice condition. To start with, there are 2 accessories that need to be assembled. Now the first vehicle, and that is the car with trailer that will transport the suitcases. It's nice that slope bricks are incorporated in the front vehicle, so it looks a bit more modern and less blocky. The lighting in general and at the black bar is a nice added value, but here I immediately notice that there is no seat, and no connection points either for the signal paddles, which can be found on the 1985 model. But there is plenty of room to store the suitcases, and it is nicely finished with panels so they can't fall out. For the helicopter, I use black, white, gray, and yellow plates and bricks, and I think that is a very nice color combination. It also has a bit of a southern look, which will actually return in the complete set. But I'm afraid that the color palette is about the only thing I can list as positive about this helicopter. Agreed, it is a nice and compact design, and cool that there are 3 vehicles in the set. but I do not find it really credible as a full-fledged helicopter, and I have no idea what the function of the vehicle is. There is no room for passengers or luggage, which was clearly the case with its predecessor from 1985. It is a little sports helicopter, I think. Although this is a nice part with hinges, I don't really think it's necessary in this design. I suspect they added it because it gives you an extra part to make alternative constructions. It's cool, but I think that with a few simple interventions, they could have made it more functional. For the plane, I start with a green plate of 2 by 16, and I find that somewhat surprising to use as a base. The construction of the plane is quite classic and contains almost all the same bricks as its predecessor from 1985. But there is more color in it. I like the blue as an extra detail, and the green turns out to serve as a kind of floor covering. Because after placing all the other bricks, it is almost no longer visible, but it is a nice detail. Furthermore, I immediately noticed that there is room for 3 passengers in this plane, while in the previous model, there was room for 4. The luggage space divided with tiles has also disappeared at the back here in this model. And the biggest change is the placement of the engines. These are now at the back and no longer under the wings. This way they are more firmly attached and they fall off less easily when playing. But there are only 2 in total, while in the previous set there were 4. There are folding roofs so you can put easily the minifigs on their place, but for the cockpit there is none. So you have to break open the roof to remove the minifig. Here I have liked it to see a creative solution, because this was also the case in the plane of 1985. As I said, I think the blue stripe is very nicely chosen, but why not go all the way and also opt for something different for this second red stripe? Yellow would have been nice, then you would have had a bit of the southern atmosphere again, and then you would also have more of the colors of the logo. To be clear, this is a print and not a sticker, and I think it is a cool logo. It is very recognizable for collectors and represents a certain period in LEGO history. It can only be found in this set and the set from 1985. So conclusion, apart from the colors, it is almost a copy of its predecessor. But this one is even a bit smaller and has less details. So not only the helicopter, but also this plane seems to me to be a bit of a step back. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice result, but I suspect that here and there the designers saved on bricks in the vehicles so that they had enough budget to build an impressive and modern airport building. I don't really have an idea of the production costs of ready-made pieces, but I suspect that they are more expensive than basic bricks. And there are quite a few in this set, such as these 1x5 and 2x5 bricks, panels in different sizes, container boxes, and of course also the blue windows in different sizes. I first saw these 1x5 and 2x5 bricks in 1988, so they were still a novelty at the time. New information to me is the fact that this brick from 3x5 actually has existed since 1978. I recently discovered that 12 of these bricks were used in set 231, Hospital. And that is actually not in a regular LEGO set as I know it, but in a set with maxi figures from the Homemaker series. Strange that it took 12 years before this white version of this brick was used in a set again. I have only had it until today in the Breezeway Cafe, also from 1990. Fortunately, there are also enough basic bricks in the set so that you still feel like you are building. There is a good balance and diversity in terms of bricks, and that makes the building experience varied and fun. Completely new at 1990 were these blue windows and these white panels. I see them for the first time today, and I have to say that they look really impressive. It immediately gives the set a nice look and a modern touch, at least for 1990. Before I start on the upper floor, I will show you this floor in detail. Here I find the lockers a very nice and realistic detail, and also the panel with the travel times is an absolute added value and a unique addition to this set. Here the panel is even double stickered, and I have not seen this sticker before. I cannot say for sure whether this sticker is present in other sets, but in combination with this red panel, and on both sides, it's only in this set. I see one chair, and that is a bit too few. An extra chair or other extra decoration would certainly have been nice. And that is actually also the case for the other side. Here I only see a tile with a nice print and 2 bricks with a sticker on it, so also quite sober. I like the scanner, and it's in a well-chosen color. It's a realistic design, complete with the lights at the top. As said, I find these parts modern and great, completely finished with smooth tiles and even tiles with a print, no stickers. What I do find a pity is the use of these old-fashioned shutters. That's a part that has been produced since 1973. I understand the idea, and it is quite realistic, but perhaps this part could have been given a more creative interpretation, especially since this is built in exactly the same way as the previous set from 1985. The entire roof is finished with light old grey plates in different sizes, and I personally think that's great. That's one of my favorite parts in vintage LEGO sets, and they are no longer produced. Pay special attention to using the right color, it's not bluish grey. 2 flags are added here. The flagpoles are still the same as when they were first produced in 1972, but in combination with these stickers on it, it's unique and only appears in this set. These fences were completely new at the time, and so they were first produced in 1990. I also think these are great parts, and they also immediately add a nice color to the set, together with these 2 chairs. And then I still have to build the control tower. The base also consists of old grey bricks with 2 nice stickers on it. The combination of the blue transparent panels is great and creates a very nice effect. This control tower is therefore immediately the eye-catcher of this set. Inside, there is room for a minifig. It has a chair and a slope brick with electronic print. And here at the very top, an antenna with the radar system. On the outside, there is still room for some flowers and a classic palm tree. This one has 7 connectors, so quite large. Be sure to check the leaves for damage, because it often happens that these holes are torn through. Fortunately, I have 4 nice ones. The building stands on a classic green base plate of 16 by 32, and there are 4 more base plates of 32 by 32 with beautiful prints with which you can build a complete airport. There are also the well-known white and transparent round 1x1 bricks and even an extra radar system. And here is the complete end result. It's an absolutely beautiful display piece, and you get a lot of value and fun for your money. It's important that the parts are not discolored and clean, but that is certainly the case here. The general condition is really good. The building experience was fun and varied, and I was able to discover a lot of nice parts. I have given my findings throughout the video, but now that I see it all in its entirety, I have my doubts about the finish of the airport building. The ground floor is great, although there could be some extra decoration inside, but it's mainly the first floor that gives me an unsatisfied feeling. It will all have to do with budgetary choices, I guess, but I think this side is finished a bit too easily by just placing 2 flags on it. And while in the 1985 set, you still had a mini restaurant complete with chairs, table, more fences, and a water cup, there is only room for 2 chairs and 2 fences here. I personally would have left the helicopter out of the set and finished the first floor a bit better with the budget of those bricks. I would have moved the control tower to this side, and I would have finished this side better. For example, one of these blue windows in combination with some basic bricks could have been placed to make a kind of mini restaurant, a bit like the Breezeway Cafe. But I absolutely do not want to end on a negative note, because as I said, it's a beautiful set with nice parts, which also offer many possibilities for alternative constructions. This is my personal opinion, and it's the opinion of an adult. Children will not think much about it, and will mainly have hours of fun playing with this set. In the end, I am happy that I discovered this set today. It certainly deserves a nice place in my collection. Feel free to comment below this video, and don't forget to subscribe, it's free. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.